Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for Against the Storm. I've had this game in my, I guess, library for quite some time. Actually, I think I had it back when it was still early access, maybe, or something. I don't know. And I played it a little bit back then. Didn't really get into a point where I wanted to do a series of it, but I figured I'd do one now. It's now, obviously, officially out. I think they just came out with their 1.2 release. 1.3 is actually in the works. I don't know what anything in the patch notes for either of those actually means because I didn't play the game enough to know. So everything is just the way it was. You know, for me, coming into a game that has a few patches on it, I'm just playing the game that has a few patches on it. I'm not playing anything that's changed, anything that's different, anything that's new. I don't know anything about that at all. So if there's some new thing that I'm not taking advantage of, it's because I haven't found it yet. But I can, I want to play this game. It's real-time games, real-time strategy games are not... I don't play a lot of them, not because I don't play, sorry, I should rephrase that. I don't play a lot of them on the channel. I do play a lot of them, but I don't play a lot on the channel because sometimes me trying to talk through stuff and also doing a real-time game kind of conflicts with my brain. And so that's why I usually prefer to play the turn-based games and things like that. But I thought this one would be a lot of fun. I've been sitting here playing it for the last couple hours, playing through some of the tutorial missions. So I've got the first 3 done. I can't do this last one until later anyway. So I've got a few of the tutorial missions down. So I think I've got enough understanding to at least win a game. Now, I will win this game. I will win each, we'll go through each city that we build out. We're going to do things. We will win them. I'm not going to win it the way you want me to win it, probably. I'm probably not as fast as you want me to be because I like to be very methodical. I like to think through choices, like to do stuff like that. If that's something that bothers you, probably move on to another Let's Play series or another channel. But if you want to see me just learn to play the game, try to get better every time I play it, then this should be the series for you. I do have a little bit of, what is it, bread? Food stockpiles. I have a little bit of food stockpiles. So we're going to jump into the smoldering city here because we can do little upgrades here to help us with the next missions and things like that. So 20 isn't actually enough to get both these bottom ones. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be enough to get one of these bottom ones and one of the ones above it. I could save some, though. Honestly, I definitely think, I was looking at these before I started. I definitely think this monastery, the Vigilant Flame, will give us a permanent 2% reduction to fuel consumption. Similar to Frostpunk, you have a thing in the middle of your village that needs to produce fire to make everybody happy. It's similar but different, but it's kind of the same idea. You're producing fuel, or you're consuming fuel constantly throughout the entire run. So having less reduction, or less consumption is going to always be a good thing, right? Plus, it gives us an embarkation bonus, so some stone and clay. I think that one's definitely worth picking up. Question is, do we pick this one up, which will give us a little bit more permanent reduction to the speed at which the Queen's impatience grows. We'll get into that in a minute. As well as some consumption control. Enables advanced controls for what is being consumed in your settlement and by whom. It might be interesting to play around with. I haven't actually looked into this, obviously, because I haven't even unlocked this. But we're going to go ahead and unlock this one, I think, as well. Just because we have both of those available. Again, game history, as you can see, I've played the 3 training missions. That is all I have done. And so the general gist of this game, let me get back to the map itself. The general gist of this game is that we have cycles, and by cycles I mean right now we have this, what we see in front of us, right? And every so often, and I don't know exactly what the time frame is, but every so often, probably every few cities that we build, things like that, the storm will swoop in and basically clear out everything we've done, and we've got to start over. Now my understanding is that if we go towards these seals, we actually have a way to well, it does say it increases the cycle duration permanently by 8, whatever 8 means. Plus, it might clear out some stuff. I'm not entirely sure what the seals do. All I know is we got to get to the seals. So we got a seal down here that we know about, and we got a seal up here that we know about, and they seem about the same distance apart or distance away from us. So I figured we go down south, see if we can grab this one. And the way we get to that is just by building cities, settlements along the way to clear out the fog, or in this case, the storm, to work our way down there. But anything else about this game we'll probably get into once we actually get into a city built here. Now this will be my first city. It's not a tutorial, so bear with me as I, kind of learn how I'm doing things and kind of go from there. What does the arrow mean? I'm seeing an arrow. Not sure what the arrow is actually meaning. And we could build a city up here. We could build a city over here. As you can see, there's different effects and different rewards for each city spot that we go to. I was thinking we would just build a city here. See what this question mark over here, some sort of point of interest, and kind of generally work our way down south towards the bottom. This will give us 3 different effects. They all look kind of good, as well as looks like the most rewards, 17 food stockpiles, as well as one of these seal fragments to work our way down that way. So I think we're going to start with this one. Now we get to pick which starting group we start with. We can either start with 4 beavers and 3 humans, which is 7 total people, or we can just start with 6 beavers. Beavers are very good at doing woodworking. Woodworking is a very important part of this game because you get to clear out the forest to find new things. Also, the wood can be used for fuel in your hearth, although maybe not as good as some of the other options. Humans are very good at farming and things like that. So a little mix wouldn't be a bad idea. But I kind of feel like just starting with some basic, just with the beavers down here, just start with something basic, and then we can add other people in as we start seeing what we have available to us. I think we're going to start with these, and we can do some embarkation bonuses here. So beavers need biscuits, pickled goods, coats, ale, scrolls, and wine. We don't have any of that available currently. I mean, I think some clay and some stone. Oh, those are 2 points each. Yeah, I see that now. I don't think we're going to need wood. I don't think we're going to need roots. And I don't think we're going to need... You know what? We're going to grab one of the 2. Let's just grab clay. And then we'll grab one of these other things. I mean, I guess a little bit of wood to start off wouldn't be bad. But we got beavers. We're going to be able to get wood very quickly. Let's go either roots or eggs. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go roots. And we'll go with that. And then we can choose our difficulty down here. Changing the difficulty does change a few things. I'm going to stay on settler for now. I think. I mean, I don't mind the pioneer. More reputation required to win actually doesn't scare me that much based on what I've been doing. Honestly, we're going to try the pioneer. I've done a few of the tutorial missions. I feel like it's been pretty easy. We're going to try to bump up the difficulty slightly. Like I said, we can check here. Settler gives us 1 negative effect, 2 positive effects. Okay, and then pioneer gives us 3 negative effects, 2 positive effects. I don't know. We're going to try the pioneer. See if we can make something work here. Anything else we want to change? Oh, we can take a look at the conditions we're going to be getting. So we've got this royal outpost. The proximity of royal outpost makes it easier to communicate with the crown. The pool of other choices will increase by 1. So we get more choices when we pick things. Gathering knowledge. The marshlands are a gathering paradise. Gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to gathering camps. Does not affect woodcutters, so it's not going to help our beavers with the wood, but it will help everything else that we gather. And then giant organisms. The marshlands are home to enormous life forms. Giant resource nodes can be found in forbidden glades. Forbidden glades, we'll have to get into that. Each glade will have a different one. Severity taxing. We're going to have 3 negatives, 2 positives again. And if I change this back to... Yeah, you can see that that's changing. So we're going to try this out. Again, it might fail because, I'm not very good, but we're going to see what we can do. And how much experience are we gaining compared to the 2? We're actually getting a lot. There's a very significant boost from going up to Pioneer, which probably tells me that it's going to be much harder. Impatience is 14. What we need is 12. Now it's going up to 14. I think 2 more reputation is going to be fine to win this game. Let's go ahead and embark. Sorry if I'm talking too long, but I kind of want to just get into the game and kind of talk about it. Because honestly, I'm assuming that not everybody's seen this game. And so I want to talk through things as if nobody's seen it. And we'll kind of go from there. So we do have 3 additional effects here. We also have the inspiring view. The astonishing, beautiful new view motivates villagers to work. The time interval between breaks is increased by 25%. That's not bad. Active only in drizzle, though. So we have 2 cycles. We have a drizzle, which is kind of just rainy. And then we have a storm. And during the storm, things get a little bit worse for a period of time. And then they go back to drizzle and everything's kind of normal again. Regrowth. Plants seem to grow exceptionally fast after the storm. All buildings using fertile soil produce plus 50% more goods during drizzle season. So any of our farms and things like that are going to get some more stuff from that. We do have a bunch of negatives here, though. Obviously, the Looming Darkness is just the basic built-in one. That's that storm that comes in every cycle, and we lose some resolve. Resolve is basically how happy our people are. We also have Horrors from Beneath. Strange voices call out from the depths. Villagers working in mines get -10 to resolve during the storm. So we might have to pull them off during the storm. But it's only active from Hostility 1. We'll get into the hostility, but basically as you do more and more things like chop down forests, things like that, the forest starts to hate you more. And that hostility increases. And so if we can keep the hostility low, we will never even have to worry about this. Although this one's not that bad, honestly. Cold Snap. A sudden drop of temperature can cause extreme hunger. Again, only active during the storm. Active from Hostility 3. That's pretty high up there. Gluttonous. Villagers with this effect have a plus 50% chance of consuming double the amount of food during break. Okay. And then nauseous spores. Active from hostility 4. Man, if we get up to hostility 4, I'm going to think something's gone really wrong compared to my tutorial runs. And then time between breaks is reduced by 33%, which is actually kind of interesting. These two actually will cancel each other out to some degree, and it actually won't be that bad. We can effectively tank this one. It's going to be a little bit worse. We can effectively tank this one because of this one. So those two are kind of crossing each other out. So I'm not super... Honestly, none of these... Look, I mean, the double food is not great, but I'm not super concerned about any of those. So I think we're going to be fine. But obviously, we do want to keep the hostility down for other reasons. Okay, close that out. Here's our little village. Here's our hearth. Villagers will come back here to eat, get clothes, meet needs, things like that. We have a little bit of a stockpile, main warehouse that can hold things. And then we've got some resources on the ground. We got some way to get some meat over here, which we turn into like jerky and stuff of that nature. We also have some stone deposits. Did we bring clay or stone? I brought clay. Okay, well then good. That's actually good that we got lucky there because we have a little bit of clay in case we need that, but we can also gather stone for when we need that as well. All right. Well, we definitely want to start clearing out some forest. Now, as you can see, there's some of these little skull markers, right? These skull markers are considered dangerous glades. Basically means if we clear into that, we expose that to our pathing, you know, we can open up that, basically pop that glade, you know, by clearing out the forest in front of it. We will have to deal with some negative thing. And if we don't deal with the negative thing in time, then a worse thing, you know, attacks us or hurts us. Now, if we deal with the negative thing in time, then we might get a bonus or something like that. So the dangerous glades work like that. And then I think, are there any forbidden glades in this one? Okay, there's some forbidden glades back here. Really bad glades that will be very, very dangerous. So more than likely in the early game, we're not going to be touching any forbidden glades. We shall see. And then there's these little tiny glades that basically often have events in them, but that's also where you're going to see more resources, things like that. Usually these are pretty safe to pop into with no real side effect, other than the fact that the more of these small glades you pop into, the more your hostility goes up as well. So that is all that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a path here, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw a path around our thingamajigger here, just because it makes me happy to... The path helps our villagers move faster, and I think I like that. We can pick a few buildings here. Okay, so 3 choices. This is actually the first time I've had multiple choices to kind of have to work through and figure out what we want to do. Getting a lumber mill early on to be able to get some planks. Planks are going to be something we use for building. I do happen to know that our beavers, if we get to the houses that they use, they need planks. So having better planks would be a really good thing. As far as I understand it, the better the stars is the more efficient the recipe. I believe that's how it basically works. We do also have the option of getting bricks, since we're going to have stone as well. But I think we're going to take the lumberyard. It's going to go really well with our beavers. We're going to grab that. Plantation, herb garden, small farm. I think a small farm could be useful. I don't think we have to pick all these right now, but we don't have any fertile soil right now, which is part of the problem for picking that. Herb garden or plantation. Honestly, I don't really know which one we're going to want. Because we don't really have anything popped right now that needs any of those things. I'm tempted to sit on these because I don't think we have to pop them right away. It's just something we want to think of. Consumption control. Okay, this is something that's new to me. Again, we just popping this up with the food that we used in the main city. You can control what your villagers are allowed to eat and which needs they can fulfill using the consumption control panel. To open the panel, select the consumption control icon on the upper right of the screen. There you can use the checkboxes assigned to each species and item to just customize what is being consumed and what is forbidden. Villagers can get upset and suffer a resolve penalty if they are forbidden from consuming goods that are available in the settlement's warehouses. This penalty will be even higher if another species is allowed to consume said goods. Penalties vary between different types of resources. The only exception is raw food, such as mushrooms, roots, which will never activate any penalties. So if we go up here to the... Where is the consumption control? We could turn on and off certain things. I don't think we have to worry about that right this second, but something to consider as time goes by. For example, our beavers do not get a bonus from jerky, but I happen to know that lizards, if we happen to get any of those, do get a bonus from jerky. So we might want to forbid the beavers from eating the jerky so that more of it's available for the lizards and things like that. Okay, let's, first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build some wood camps. I think we're going to at least build, we got 6 beavers, so we might as well build a pair of those. Come in here to woodcutters camps. I'm going to put one on the edge of this over here. Something tells me we're going to be popping a dangerous glade pretty early in this game, just based on kind of the position of things. I'm going to put one down here. And we'll make sure we'll get a path down to that. Okay. We'll get those out. The beavers will run out there and build those up. We probably want to build them some houses here relatively soon as well. In fact, we're probably going to go ahead and just get them shelters right now. I think these hold 3 apiece, so I think we just need 2. We'll get those built. I'm now just going to go ahead and go up to about speed ×2. It feels like a good... I've done ×3 sometimes, but ×2 feels like a good balance of let me react to things as well as making sure this game's going at a pretty nice clip here for a bit. As you can see, we got lots of bonuses down here. As the game progresses, we will get more and more bonuses. Presumably, we'll also get more and more negatives, but something to think about. I want to make sure that our guys are only doing marked trees, because I'm going to mark my trees intentionally myself. And we're just going to mark a few trees here. If I hit control, then they will not cut the last tree that would allow us to expose the glade itself. So that's a good way to make sure that we're only cutting trees that we care about. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put some more over here. Eventually, very soon, we're going to pop this small glade over here, I believe. But initially, we're just going to get some lumber. I'm not too worried about that. I do want to assign some of our beavers. As you can see, the beavers have this little wood symbol, which matches the specialization bonus, which is a way for us to know that these guys are going to get a little bit of a boost for working at this particular spot. We'll put 2 beavers here because we do still need one that's going to go around building the last 2 houses, and then we'll kind of go with that. All right, we do have a cornerstone. Now, cornerstones we get periodically. I actually don't know what the cadence of cornerstones is. Maybe it's... I actually don't know. I actually don't know what the cadence of cornerstones is. Come to think of it. But we do get these periodically. And it allows us to pick a bonus that will, persist, kind of like these down here. Or we could decline it to get some of this amber. This amber is really good for trading with traders to get some resources that we might need. Each newcomer group has 2 additional villagers. There's pros and cons. Yeah, having more people means we can do more things, but also means more mouths to feed, more houses we got to put up, things like that. I gain 5 pigment for every 10 insects produced. I don't know if we're going to need pigment, but I actually don't know if we're going to get insects, to be honest. I actually don't know. Neither one of those really jumps out at me as like amazing. Don't get me wrong, crowded caravans can be nice, but sometimes, again, crowded caravans can also backfire on you. So honestly, I'm kind of tempted to just decline this, get some amber so we have something to trade as soon as we're getting trade route up. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe I should always grab the people. Who knows? This is how I like to play. You guys can play however you like to play accordingly. Why did you not finish? Only assigned 2 here. 3 there, so we should have 1 guy. He must be eating or something. Is that him? Is he eating? He must be eating. Alright, so still have blueprints available. I'm not really rushing those right this second, to be fair. Did we ever pick our... No, we didn't have to pick anything. Do you not have to pick stuff on just a normal game? We do have hostilities being built up because we have so many woodcutters and villagers and things like that. So obviously more villagers also increases hostility. Things to consider that. Now, the difficulty modifier is increasing the amount of hostility we get percentage-wise than compared to what I'm normally used to. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. We got to pick some orders here. So orders are basically little mini missions that we want to complete in order to get bonuses as well as get the Queen's Grace, which is what we have to do to get to win the game. I didn't mention that. We have to get X amount of Queen's Grace, X amount of reputation before her impatience gets up to the maximum. Right now, on the lowest difficulty, we need 12 reputation before she gets to 14 impatience. Well, in this particular one, because of the difficulty increase, we need 14 and 14. I think we're still going to be fine. But each one of these will give us some Queen's Grace. There's other ways to get some reputation as well, as we'll get into as time goes by. But we definitely want to grab these, the ones that we know we can finish. 3 packs of crops, 3 packs of building materials, or complete any glade event. I'm going to go ahead and complete any glade event, I think. Getting some parts is definitely very nice. I don't know if I haven't personally found a way to make parts. Maybe there is, but I know I needed some parts in one of my previous games and I didn't have any. And some of the buildings and things like that do need parts. So I'm going to grab that one because we're going to clear some glades at some point in the nearest future. Then we got another one here. Wood delivered. We could definitely deliver some wood, get some more parts, get some villagers. That would be a very easy one for us to do with all of our beavers running around. And then we're also going to grab you. And we can build a harvester's camp and a stonecutter's camp and deliver 10 bricks. Or we can do some dangerous glades. I don't really want to do the dangerous glades if I can help it. Or 5 packs of crops. I think I'm going to grab this one. We're not quite there right this second, but we should be able to make bricks from the stone, I believe. Or the clay that we have on hand as well, either one. So I'm going to grab those. So we have 3 missions ready to go. It's actually more than I'm used to. Normally I'm only been getting 1 at a time in the tutorial runs. But we'll go ahead and get some wood coming in. Our guys are doing the wood. I'm still not 100% sure why you're not finishing the build. Getting our guys some housing. All right, so reputation. So you see this little blue tick right here next on the beavers thing. Right now they're at 10 resolve. As we get more of their needs met, like specific housing or, basic housing will help a little bit, but specific housing helps even more. Or if we get them the food that they specifically prefer, like we looked at before, beavers can eat jerky, but they don't really like jerky. But if we get them, for example, pickled goods, they get +8 resolve for eating those pickled goods, which helps out. Now, the reason we like resolve is because the more resolve they have, the higher we can get to the tick of these reputation. And if we can get these guys over this blue tick, then we'll just get some passive Queen's reputation as time goes by, which is a good way to basically make sure the game goes by quickly. As you can see, there's also these little tick marks down here. Every time we hit one of these, currently these early ones especially, we'll get new blueprints, and then the blueprints will start to spread out a little bit. But we'll be getting a lot of blueprints as the game progresses. I have not had anybody go super negative on the resolve, but presumably if they're negative, we either have more impatience growing or something like that. I don't remember what the penalty is for having negative resolve, but we will probably see that at some point, especially with this harder difficulty here, progressing us. We're currently in drizzle, but it's about to be in storm. Storm is going to make our resolve go down quite a bit. I was really hoping we'd finish this. Why? Why are we not finishing the house? I haven't assigned everybody. Or somebody... Oh, somebody's doing that. See, I hadn't really noticed that somebody did the hearth. Oh, no, I should not have factory, but that's okay. We'll pick one of these guys up so we can build these last few houses. That was a mistake. I'd never really noticed that we had somebody doing the hearth the entire time. It happened, and I just haven't been paying attention. So, that's on me. So we do need one free builder to be able to run around and build things. I mean, if we have things to build. Obviously, we don't always have things to build. So as soon as this gets built, we can reassign him back to the woodcutting stuff. All right, we do have enough wood to do the delivery. Again, it's going to give us some sprockets or some gears or whatever. 2 new people, and it's going to give us a little bit of Queen's Resolve, which actually will open up another blueprint. Plus, I think every point we get of this will lower her impatience as well. So we're going to get this delivered right away. We have more buildings we can grab. Is there a way to tab through this? Because I don't want to pick this one yet, because I don't know which one of these we want. I guess we can guess, but I guess until we know we need some buildings, I don't have to worry about rushing that just yet. Lumber mill would allow us to get some planks. We don't really need planks right this second, so we're going to hold off on that. All right, I do want to pop this glade over here so we can go ahead and get us a glade event. So we're going to go ahead and just... I mean, I don't have to rush it, but I'm just going to go ahead and have you guys permissible without holding down control to pop this glade over here so we can see what that's going to get for us. Oh, we do have our first non-beaver person. This is a human. We're going to go ahead and assign the 2 beavers out to this stuff. And I'm assuming you are one of our beavers, and then you're just going to be a free person who can run around building stuff. So we do have a human here. Humans are obviously going to have different bonuses. They're really good at farming and whatnot, but they're going to have different needs from the beavers in general if we get to that point. Okay, we're going to need to build another shelter for these people. We'll just kind of put it down here, and that's going to be fine. So I'm frozen to blueprint. Now, the good thing about a human is that will allow us to do some good farming at some point when the time comes up. But since everybody's working, I'm not really feeling rushed to go grab another building just yet. Now, again, we do have this constant ticking impatience meter down here. But as long as we're continuing to work towards these orders, then I think we're going to be just fine. Famous last words as I realized that this one tick of difficulty higher is much more difficult than I realized, but hopefully not. We'll see how it goes. Again, I want to try to avoid to pop the dangerous glades for a while because we really don't have much production of things going right now. So I want to avoid that until we get some more of these glades, kind of see what else we have available to us from a resource standpoint. And then when we pop these, we'll have better understanding of what we need to do in order to fulfill, you know, the missions that are inside there. For example, I popped a dangerous glade in one of the tutorial missions, and it said if I didn't finish X, Y, Z, whatever it was, within, I think, 5 minutes, 3 of my villagers would just die. So things like that can be bad. But if by finishing it, I was able to get, I think, some more Queen's Resolve or something like that. So it can definitely be positive events if you're ready for them. Food is not going up at the moment, so we got to be a little bit worried about that. But fuel is going up, so I'm happy with that. As long as the fuel is continuing to go up, I think we're going to be in a pretty safe spot overall. But we do need to keep an eye on the food because that is not going to last forever. Now, we are in the storm cycle right now. As you can see, we have -4 resolve. And so obviously the beavers and the humans are both lower on resolve at the moment. Technically, our one human is closer to a reputation boost than our beavers are. So if we actually, what we could do is we can favor one over the other. As long as the favoring is not going to push them to the point where they're like penalizing us. By favoring them, we can actually push them above their mark here, which will allow us to get a little bit of reputation tick. We're not going to do it during the storm cycle because I don't think there's any point. Once the storm ends, I think the humans will bounce back up a little bit, and it might be worth favoring them to be able to get a little bit of a reputation boost for a while. All right, we're about to pop this glade over here. Again, I could have rushed it, but I knew it was going to happen anyway, so I'm not really super concerned about rushing it super fast. We do have a time limit. Yeah, I know that, but I think we're fine. I mean, the general rule of thumb would be if we can keep her reputation higher than the impatience, then we're doing fine. Right now, where it's close, but that's just because we haven't finished one of these things in a while. We do have newcomers available. More gears. I do like tools can become in handy as well. Do we have any tools? Did we come? In the tutorial runs, we did actually have some tools. And I know some of the things that you pop will need tools. So I'm tempted to take the tools. It's only one, so it's not really going to get us that far, but it's something. Plus, it gives us a little bit of variety here, so why not? We'll grab the tools. We probably are going to need to get another house to house our new people. And I talked about boosting up reputations. One thing I will say is that the lizards have very low reputation requirements, so I often, in my tutorial runs, have been favoring them just because it was very easy to get them to the reputation you need without penalizing the other ones too badly. So again, we still have... Oh, we have a new cornerstone. Does it... After every storm, do we get a new cornerstone? Is that what it is? So we have Farsight. Investigating dangerous or forbidden glades. Okay, discoveries a small glade. I'm sorry. I did back up. I thought I was going to get to the point of what it was. Scouting ahead makes it easier to prepare for the worst. Discovering a small glade increases the working speed of scouts. Investigating dangerous or forbidden glades by 50% for 180 seconds. So if we pop a small glade right before we're going to pop up a dangerous glade, then it'll be quicker for us to actually resolve the incident within that dangerous glade. So that's actually not a bad one. Cooking steam. If you leave rainwater for a while, it will begin to release pleasant and warm vapor. Food production speed is increased by 50% for every 50 units of drizzle water stored. Now, we don't have any drizzle water stored, but we can start getting rain collectors at some point that will allow us to store drizzle water, and getting more food production does sound pretty good, especially as our population is beginning to grow. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. I think there's some benefit of the Farsight, but I'm not planning on popping a dangerous glade just yet. And so I think I'm going to grab that other one for a little bit. So I haven't done any houses, buildings. Once we pop this, we'll have a better understanding what buildings we might want to grab. I'm actually going to go ahead and forbid this one down here and that one down there. And just let them, encourage them to pop those here in just a minute. Another small glade down that way. We are going to have to pop a dangerous one pretty soon, though, just based on proximity. All right, so we could favor the lizards and start getting some reputation boost from them. We could also favor the humans. That would not be enough to get them reputation boost because they need 30. So I think we're going to favor the lizards. And that'll give us up to 18 for them, which will be plenty. And will get us a little bit of a reputation ticking boost, which is great. Currently, our lizards are not working. So we've got several people not working. So actually, what we probably should want to do is set up something that's going to be able to grab us some food down here, like this jerky. So we're going to go ahead and put that... Where is that sitting? Okay, it's right there. I don't want to cover those up. We'll just put that right there. And we'll make sure we at least have... The lizards themselves are good at gathering the jerky, or the food, the meat. But we obviously can't turn it into jerky just yet. Everybody's got houses. Everybody's good there. We are going to definitely assign one of the lizard peoples, and then we'll assign, I guess, a human or something to the other spot. That'll help us get us some meat and things, which will help make sure our food ticks up. Now, that is raw food, to be fair. It's not great, but it's going to be something. So we do have some orders we can pick. This one's not bad. Planks, bricks, and fabric. We can definitely make that. Jerky would also be very good, and actually would allow us to get more jerky production. Now, that's really good if we're going to have a lot of lizards. Let me close this out for a second. Do we have the building that allows us to produce jerky yet? Oh, it's under food. Sorry. We do not. Probably want to select it at some point. Feels a little bit dangerous to maybe pick that without knowing for sure. Because obviously we know we can get this one. This one we're pretty confident we can get. Because we should be able to have... We have a lumber mill. We don't have a brickyard down yet, but we should be able to get something there. I might hold off on picking this one just for now. I don't think we have to rush it. Just to see if we can get a jerky thing. Okay, so we did finally pop our first glade. Sorry. Will allow us to get some meat. Gets us there's some wheat fields. There's some fertile soil here, which is the reason why I'm glad that I delayed this, because the fertile soil is something we're going to be using with the small farm potentially. Actually, I think all three of these technically use farm fields. I actually didn't think about that. They do all use farm fields. I guess I could have picked it earlier, but I think it's okay that we didn't. Honestly, I think just the basic small farm is going to be a pretty good idea. Just get some vegetables and grain coming in here. Get some more food popping in. I'm okay with that. We have the cookout. Okay, the smokehouse is what's going to get us the jerky, which is what I talked about a second ago. So I think I will grab the smokehouse. The other two are really good. Don't get me wrong. Biscuits would be good for our beavers over here, to be fair. It's true. Biscuits would be good for our beavers. Plus the brickyard would let us get bricks. Do we currently have a way to get bricks at the moment? We do not. Oh, crude workstation. We can get the crude workstation. We can make all three of these. So if we want to hold off on the jerky and go for the biscuits, because we know that our beavers love biscuits. Although I don't actually know what the recipe for biscuits is. I hadn't even looked it up. Biscuit. There we go. I was like, how do I spell biscuit? Oh, we don't actually know it. Will it tell us in the building by any chance? I don't actually know what the recipe for biscuits is. But we do know that we have a lot of beavers and they do like biscuits. And if we can make them happy, feels like a really good idea. Actually, both the humans and the beavers like biscuits. So I'm kind of leaning towards the biscuits. I've never done them. Even though I know the jerky would help, we've only got the one guy there. And obviously the brickyard would help as well. Let's go for the biscuits. See what it does. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's not. We'll find out. And then provisioner. I'm assuming biscuits going to need flour. If we come over the cookhouse. Do we have access to the recipe now? We do. So we need flour, which I thought we did. And some sort of something, which is roots. Currently. Okay. Or herbs. Or berries from plantations. Well, we don't have a lot of roots, but maybe we'll get some more. We do need flour. So the provisioner does seem like a good idea to get us some flour. All right, we'll go for that. That might have been a mistake to pick those as early as we did. Could have held off a little bit longer. But... And there's nothing here to solve. No negative thing here. We do have coal veins. We do have small wheat fields. Cool. Which will get us some plant fiber. Okay. And again, the farm. I do want to clear out the rest of this junk because that's going to help us put down the farm thing next to that. All right, what do we want to grab? So if we come over to the orders and we pick... So we're not going to do the jerky then. So in that case, we're going to grab the building materials. And then we can pick this one and we can grab... There's the jerky again. Complete at least one event by making decision empathy. Well, we don't know about that. I may have to hold off on these for a while because we don't really have access to any of that stuff right now. Hopefully we do still get the jerky at some point. But we're not quite there yet. So again, we're already positive with the resolve for the lizards. We are getting a ticking. It's not much because there's only one of them. 0.01 reputation with lizards. So it's something. I'm assuming as we get more of those, that will help. And if we got one of these other ones closer, we might start favoring them instead. I'm actually going to... I want to be able to pop that here in a bit. We'll have to move the lumber mill closer. I am going to go ahead and get rid of those. I'm actually going to make it a little bit more of a beeline here. because I want to make sure we kind of pop through there. We'll clear out these and then we'll move the lumber mill. That's one cool thing is that we can move buildings after we put them down, which is very convenient. All right, a farm over here would be good. Do we have a spot for it? We do technically have a spot for it right there. And what is it you need to build? You just need planks. So we don't actually have plank production right now, which does mean we're going to need to get us a basic crude workstation set up to start putting some planks out. We'll put it over here. And we'll get that going. In fact, we're going to make that a higher priority build. And we'll go from there. Don't have a lot of people right now. I mean, suddenly I'm wishing we had more people. Go back to previous decisions I've made. But at some point, I think the trickling of people is going to be sufficient for whatever we need. We'll go ahead and just put a couple people in here. It doesn't really matter. There's no specializations here. We're going to go ahead and prioritize the planks first and foremost. At some point, we are going to need bricks. Do we need bricks right now? We do need bricks and fabric at some point. We do have a little bit of plant fiber we can do with that. We also have some clay. So let's start with the bricks, the planks, I should say. And then fabric and bricks can just be secondary priorities as needed or as we can available. So the plank should allow us to get this thing built here in a bit. And then we can start putting some farm stuff down. All right, we're way over time, but this game's got a lot going on. I enjoy this game a lot. I apologize if I'm too slow, too methodical. It's just going to be the way I'm going to have fun playing this game. Because it's going to help me learn and grow. And as I get more used to the game, it obviously stop explaining things to you guys. I will speed things up. So bear with me as I get through this. But I think I'm having a lot of fun with this. I think this looks like a really great game. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. As usual, if you do like these types of videos and want to see more of them, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know when these videos go live. Consider becoming a channel member. And obviously, as always, comment below, and I try to read all the comments and try to reply to as many as I possibly can. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.